someone in the family is trying to stick it to Jeanie. And the way of doing that is saying, I'm going to attack her relationship with LeBron. I'm going to say things that she said about LeBron that then she has to deal with, make Jeanie have to deal with something in a manner that she may not have wanted to deal with. And that's kind of what I take away from this. Felt Clutch exerted too much control. In this business, a lot of the top agents, especially agents of the top players, usually have some say over what goes on the team. That's the nature of the business, because you're trying to appease to the player, because ultimately you always want that player to want to stay. So you want them to feel heard. You want to take, and when you have star players, you also want to take their consideration into account. Who they want to play with, who they don't want to play with, that all matters in building a team. And so that's standard practice. When you throw the word exerted too much control, that's usually attached to Clutch's name because there's always shots at Rich and this, that, and the other. So that's usually attached to the name. But great top agents work to have some sort of control. But usually negatively attached to Clutch when it's Clutch and Rich. So that's to be expected. Lack of accountability over the Westbrook trade. I don't know much about that. I don't know how much Bron said, yo, we need to go get Russ. I'm sure he had to approve it. I'm sure maybe he did mention it, maybe he didn't. Lack of accountability over it. Ultimately, teams have to make decisions and have to make moves. I think for me personally, I would have loved to see more people come out and say, yo, it just didn't work. Whether that's LeBron, whether that's the Lakers front office, whether that's whoever, I would have loved to see more people say, yo, it just didn't work. But that wasn't the case. And I said it during the time, I feel like Russ during that time was one of the scapegoats. And in saying that, to point the blame solely at a player and say, yo, he didn't take responsibility, he didn't take accountability, I don't know if I could just roll with that. Because I know they'll say no in a heartbeat to anything. Like, everything's not a yes. So I don't know that I buy that we're just going to throw that to a player. I don't really buy that side of it. Trading Bron to the Clippers, I don't buy that either. You're not sending LeBron James right up the street to the Los Angeles Clippers. Maybe the Clippers called, I don't know, but you're not just sending LeBron James up the street to the Clippers. I don't buy that. Felt LeBron was not great for the Lakers drafted Bronny. Do you bow down and kiss the ring? Say thank you, you're appreciative. I've seen Bron speak out about how he's appreciative to the organization, giving Bronny a chance. But also, Bronny did do some work. Like, Bronny worked to become who he's become as well. It's not like this kid wasn't a top recruit and didn't play at a top college. Like, give Bronny some credit as well. He worked. Like, does LeBron being with the Lakers help Bronny get drafted there? Of course. But I've spoke about this before too, but don't tell me the owner's son that's a general manager or something else don't help. When you're in great positions and you've put in work, it helps. That's just the reality. That's the world we live in. If you haven't benefited from that, it's unfortunate. Maybe you'll do the work so your kid benefits from it. And then says begrudgingly gave him a contract extension fearing a bad PR hit. That could be true. Because it's still LeBron James. Like, you don't want that on your record. You don't want that stain on your record. Because people are going to see how you treated LeBron James, and then do they want to be a Laker? So that could be true. But that's also a negotiation tactic. That's how this league works. So I thought it was interesting. Like I said, I think it was a way of a family member to possibly stick it to Jeanie and put something on her plate that she has to deal with. But I don't know. I don't live in the Lakers locker room. So that's my take.